turns to gourmet decay.
Fried rice. Fried rice. What's your dish? Before you vanish, make a wish. Sesame twist. Fried rice, don't resist.
Steamed up battlefield, egg drop haze, walking hand, I end their days. General toast, chaos, kung pao blaze, but I'm polite in violent ways. Shrimp or chicken, beef or veg, your last request, I'll pledge. Heat, sweet and sour edge, DMC diner where love's alleged.
Fried rice. Fried rice. What's your dish? Before you vanish, make a wish. Sauce, shrimp, sesame twist. Fried rice, don't resist. Fried rice in the DMZ, chopstick sharp, no fork in sight. Enemies lurk, shadows bite, but before they fall, I serve delight.
What's your order? I always say before the game turns to gourmet decay.
Fried rice. Fried rice. What's your dish? Before you vanish, make a wish. Sesame twist. Fried rice, don't resist.
Steamed up battlefield, egg drop haze, walking hand, I end their days. General toast, chaos, kung pao blaze, but I'm polite in violent ways. Shrimp or chicken, beef or veg, your last request, I'll pledge. Heat, sweet and sour edge, DMC diner where love's alleged.
Fried rice. Fried rice. What's your dish? Before you vanish, make a wish. Sauce, shrimp, sesame twist. Fried rice, don't resist. Fried rice in the DMZ, chopstick sharp, no fork in sight. Enemies lurk, shadows bite, but before they fall, I serve delight.
What's your order? I always say before the game turns to gourmet decay.
Fried rice. Fried rice. What's your dish? Before you vanish, make a wish. Sesame twist. Fried rice, don't resist.
Steamed up battlefield, egg drop haze, walking hand, I end their days. General toast, chaos, kung pao blaze, but I'm polite in violent ways. Shrimp or chicken, beef or veg, your last request, I'll pledge. Heat, sweet and sour edge, DMC diner where love's alleged.
Fried rice. Fried rice. What's your dish? Before you vanish, make a wish. Sauce, shrimp, sesame twist. Fried rice, don't resist. Fried rice in the DMZ, chopstick sharp, no fork in sight. Enemies lurk, shadows bite, but before they fall, I serve delight.
What's your order? I always say before the game turns to gourmet decay.
Fried rice. Fried rice. What's your dish? Before you vanish, make a wish.
Hello, welcome on in everybody. So today what we're going to be doing, we are going to be doing a bit of a tutorial on OBS. So we're going to see how it goes. Never done one of these before, so you have to bear with me. And if you've got any questions, then please, by all means. What on earth is that? Selfie Brazil. If you've got any questions, then by all means, please ask. got my glasses on because I'm getting old. I've been out for the car for these are my driving glasses. My son snapped me the ones. The lads at work all call me Jeff when I wear these. These are my Jeffrey Dahmer glasses. But yeah, we're gonna get started anyway. Is there anything you guys would like to know before we get started? What are your expectations? What are you wanting to learn? Hey, Brazil, thank you very much for the biddies. Cheers, bro. I appreciate you. I hope your training's gone all right. Have you had automated dick pics? Happy to help. Right, I'm going to switch screens. So, this is our OBS. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting this up from scratch, really. So the first thing you have to get used to, really, is we've got lots and lots of docs. I admit on mine I've got more docs than probably you'll have when you first start off. But all you need to worry about is that this is your main canvas. Why don't you wear those, you play? Welcome in one ball. Trolling. So basically, this is your main canvas, and this is what's anything that's on there is going to be what's shown on stream. Basically, this is your little scenes tab, and then so basically this is our first scene. So we'll make another one. So we just click on the add button. We'll zoom in for you. So we'll click on the add button, and then we'll go up and we'll call this one, we'll call it gameplay. We'll say okay. Then we'll, on this one, we'll rename this one as well. So we'll rename this one starting screen. It's always good to have a starting screen. Vendidos. So we've got two scenes there now, so we can flick between them. Obviously they both look exactly the same because we've got no sources. So this is our sources tab here. So on our starting screen, we'll start with that one. We just click the little plus here, and what we're going to do is we are going to add, I think it's an image we're going to add. I like to label everything so I know what I'm doing. So starting soon. Canvas, we'll call it. Then we just locate our file, which I have set everything up. Tutorial. Okay, so that's not right. It must be a, delete this a sec. So if it's a still image, it's an image. If it's a GIF or a video file, it'll be a media source. This one's a media source, so we'll do this one starting soon. Canvas. Okay. Right, so that's what we want, our little fried rice starting soon's main screen. Open that, and then I would always click on loop because you want it to loop. Because when you make your little GIF or video, I think mine's like 10 seconds long that I made on Canva. So basically it just re-loops. And then basically, so you click on loop, so it keeps looping. You want, I wouldn't change the speed personally. And you just click OK. And then this is our little screen. So all we do is we literally left click on the corner arrow, and we're going to stretch it to fit. You can right click and go on transform, and you can go, so we'll try it, look. So we'll go, yeah, transform, fit to screen. There you go. It's the easier way of doing it personally. That's our little canvas. And what you'll notice is now we've got on our audio mixer, we've got starting soon canvas over here. Because this doesn't have any audio on, I don't think, but if it did, so what we could do is we could add our microphone. So we'd go add a source, and then we're going to say audio input capture. Then we'll call this one. Actually, we're not going to do that. Because one thing I want to show you how to do is this. So I want you to, what I want you all to do is I want you all to create scenes. And I want you to create an audio scene. And basically, within this, what we are going to put in this is we're going to add in our microphone. Microphone. Hey Alonso, welcome in, bro. How you doing? So mine's the Elgato Wave 3. That's the microphone I'm using. And you can see on the side here, when I'm chatting away, it's going red. So my volume's too high on this one. But that's absolutely fine because we can adjust that. So we have got, if we put on our, go back on our starting screen, I can't speak, say them words, starting soon screen. The only source we've got on is basically our canvas, which has no volume, no microphone input or anything. But what we are going to add in is we're going to add, and we're going to add a scene. Rather than adding a source, we're going to add a scene. And the scene we're going to add, we're going to say add existing, and we're going to click on audio, and we're going to click OK. So now you can see over on this side, our microphone's now being added to this scene as well. And I appreciate all that's in the audio one at the moment is literally the microphone. However, when you add more sources, more audio sources to it, doing it this way makes it so much easier rather than adding in your microphone, your gameplay audio, your speaker bot, your streamer bot, your Spotify, your Discord, all those different things. Rather than adding them all into every single scene separately, you just literally add them all to the audio file, and then all you have to do is just add the audio file as a scene to this scene, and that's what's called a nested scene. Oh, Alpha, welcome in. Thank you for the selfie. I quite like these glasses, you know. I don't know how you guys feel. I mean, I think they look quite cool, personally. How you doing, Alpha? All right, so that is basically our starting soon screen setup, really. So what we can do next is we'll go on to our gameplay. And this one's got absolutely nothing on it. Nothing at all. So I play on Xbox, so I'm going to add a source. And I'm going to go to video capture device. And we'll call this Xbox. And then what we want to do is I'm going to click on the Elgato HD60X because that is my capture card. And basically, we don't need to change any of that. Leave all that. And then just click OK. Make sure my Xbox is wiggled. There you go. And then basically, same again. We're going to right click it. Transform. Fit to screen. Nice and easy. And then that is the perfect size for our canvas. I'm glad you're doing all right, Alpha. Jeffrey. So that is that, and automatically we now have a audio mixer for the Xbox. So if I flick along, you can see that's moving up and down as I'm clicking on my Xbox remote. So that's working. Damn it. So what we're going to do on this one, we are going to add another scene. So again, we're going to add our audio scene. Click OK. And then our microphone's coming through there. Should we add some more things to our audio so it makes a bit more sense? So what we can do is we can add a... Let me load up Spotify, hold on. So we will add a application audio, and we'll call this one Spotify. Okay. And then we're going to search for it, which is there. And then literally all we're going to do is we're just going to click OK. And now we have Spotify. So if we play a random song, you can see Spotify is coming through there now. Pause that. So now we will have Spotify on the start and soon screen with the microphone. We'll have Spotify and the microphone on this screen. And this is what's called a nested scene. So basically it's a scene within a scene. It's a bit like a... I don't know what the term is really. This audio scene is like having the master copy. So any changes you make, so if when we edit our microphone, we will edit our microphone on this audio scene, and all the changes will automatically go on to every scene that the scene's already on. So it means you only have to make one change. You make one change and it works across everything. Can you do the same for Apple Music? I tried, but it wouldn't work. It did for Spotify for me. I had a desktop source. I'll be honest, Jody, I had the same issue because I was on Apple prior to switching over, and I had the same issues, to be honest with you. You can get Spotify on it, but you have to basically do it the way you've done it. Because I don't know if OBS has updated since I was on a Mac, but you couldn't add the application audio capture thing on the beta thing when I was on it, because it just wouldn't work. It wasn't supported by Mac. The only other way around it would be to use an external program such as the Elgato Wavelink, if you've got any Elgato products. So if you've got a Elgato microphone or camera or whatever, or a Stream Deck, I think, then you can download the Wavelink software, and then basically you would just add Wavelink in as an audio source on OBS, but then you'd control everything via your Wavelink. And I used to use it actually before I started messing on with these nested scenes, and it's an option. There's another one called Banana something, but I always found the Elgato one was the better one, to be honest. I quite like that one. So we're going to add a camera, right? So we're going to add another video capture device. Yeah, I do like Spotify, to be fair. I was always an Apple nerd. Yeah, that's the issue, Jody, isn't it? And it's again, I'm a bit OCD, and I'm not a fan of that stuff. I like things to work perfectly, to be honest. So when we're adding our camera, normally on OBS, you'd just click on, I'll start again because I was chatting. So you'd click on the little plus, you would go on video capture device, and you'd call this camera. And then you click OK. And it would normally be USB device, a video device there. And it would normally appear here, very much like the Xbox link did for me. However, my camera is in use on my other version of OBS, which is what I'm streaming from, which is where I'm in the corner. So what I've done is I've broadcast a virtual camera from that OBS to this OBS. So this is this, right? So don't mind my messy background. So this is what would come up on your camera. And then people tend to just, a lot of people just have like, this is their setup, just like that. Done. Well, for me, you know me, I'm a bit of a, I'm a nerd. I like changing things up. So what we're going to do, and in fact, you know, no, I won't make things complicated. So basically, we're going to right click on our camera. We're going to go filters. And what we are going to do, first of all, so I have a lot of filters because I've installed quite a lot. The filters I'm going to recommend to you to use would be, I would download the Advanced Masks plugin. I would also download the Move plugin. That's pretty much essential if you want to do all the good stuff and move your sources around and get things flying about all over like you see on my streams every now and again. The background removal and the blur filter, so that comes as part of the package with, it depends on your graphics card. So if you've got an NVIDIA graphics card, you can go on the NVIDIA software and download the sort of drivers for OBS, and these come with it, which are quite handy actually. So the background removal tool is what I'm using on my camera at the moment on the stream. And I don't tend to use the blur filter. I've got a different blur somewhere around it. There, I use the composite blur, which is another external filter. So basically all the filters that I use are all from here. So we go to, look at that air fryer in the background, man. This is why I have my camera cropped, because I'm literally, when I say I'm going to make a coffee, right, I'm the kitchen's here. I literally just step in and go make a coffee. So this is where you download all your plugins. So it's obsproject.com/forum/plugins. And I can put these links on the bottom of the YouTube video. Yeah, it's a ninja, Jody. You can't be an air fryer, you know. They're essential. You're a parent. You have to have an air fryer. And basically, so you can search for plugins. So let's say Advanced Masks, I said, didn't I? Advanced Mask. So this would be the Advanced Masks plugin, and all you'd have to do is click on the download button and then download whatever it is to your specification, whether you're Mac or PC, whatever. Just install it all, and then you end up having to restart OBS. And then when you restart, you will then have the option here where you will have the Advanced Mask plugin. So if we click on that, and then basically what this does is it allows us to create different shapes. So a lot of people have a circle, don't they? And what you can do is you can move your camera, so you move the circle around your face a little bit so it's a bit more in the center. You can make it smaller, make it bigger. Dual draws. You can zoom in. That's a bit scary, like, hello, Jeffrey Dahmer's. I mean, that's quite big, actually. So we'll go back to that. You can add a feathering effect, which basically sort of just feathers the outside of it. I don't particularly like using them. So that's the advanced mask. And then another filter that I always use for literally every single source that I put on always has a shadow and a stroke. And that is part of this one here. I'm sure it's called Stroke Glow Shadow. Stroke Glow Shadow. Yeah. Stroke Glow Shadow 1.5.3. And then you'd literally just click on download again, wherever the hell it's gone. Download it for your thing. And then you'd get all three of those filters, so each one's a different one. And basically, so I'll show you what the... Go with a shadow. And I always like to use the dual Kawasi shadow. Use it on everything. My biggest tip I'm going to give you, right, because it's really difficult to see where the hell that shadow is. Just change the colour to white. And then you can see straight away where that shadow is now. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to... I always crank the intensity up. I put my shadow distance down to basically 0, so the shadow is all around my source that I'm wanting, really. And then you can change the size, make it a bit bigger, make it smaller. Crank the intensity down if you don't want it to be so in your face. And then change your colour back to black. And then that... I've gone green. I'm guessing that's Hunter who's done that. And then that is literally shadowed. And then what you can do is you can also put a... What is it? A stroke. So a stroke is basically just a border around the outside. So again, you change the colour. You can have... My brand's red, really, isn't it? So I do red everything. I tend to do a stroke size of 10. And then there you go. There you've got your camera. You can move around, make it a bit bigger. So one thing that I always, when I was first starting out doing this, I found it really annoying that this box is just massive around all your sources. So one thing you can do, if you press your Alt key and hold your Alt key, you can bring that box in and just drag it all in. Because when you're clicking on your canvas all the time, you misclick on things and it catches these, like the outside of this box if it's massive. There you go. And then now we have a camera. You're welcome. It does my head in, honestly. So one thing I will say, right, on my proper OBS, I have a nested scene for my camera. So rather than adding like my base camera, so this one, and what I tend to do is the only filter I've got on it is actually a colour correction, which I will have to look on my phone what my settings are. Give me 2 seconds. Because I use this for, and it's basically like a base filter, effectively, that I use, and then every camera that I make is the same. And then I can just put whatever other filters I want on, but I know the colour's always going to be the same. Then full brightness is down to 0, 0. And 6. This one's down to 0.5. Again, this is just adjusted depending on what your room's like, what your camera's like. Oh my god, that's not right. 0.58. That's done. Wow, it's dark. That can't be right. I feel like I might have changed these since I did that, because that looks really dark. We'll go to defaults. But anyway, that's what you can do for that. And then what we can do, so basically we've got our start and sound screen with our microphone on it. You can put Discord on it, you can do whatever you want. You got your gameplay, which now has our sources. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add another scene. We want to just chat. And then basically we are going to add, I can't remember if this is going to be a media source or not. You can add music to the start and sound screen there, Hunter. You get Hunter to make you some music. He's my music man. He makes me little music videos. Well, musics. Just chatting canvas. One browse for our file. It's none of them. It must be a static image. Just chatting canvas. I've got that many sources and things on my system that I never know what the hell's what. So what you can do to, if your computer's struggling and things, you can, on a lot of these sources, tick this to unload image when it's not shown, and then it's not constantly running and using your system's requirements, really. So I tend to click this quite a lot. And then we're going to right click on it. Transform, fit to screen, job's a good one. And get muted from VODs. Ah, so Jody, right, I'm going to show you something about that in a second. Let's set these scenes up and I'm going to show you. So, what we'll do, right, we're going to add another scene, and I am going to add a master copy camera. Okay. I'm going to delete this camera. Because we'll add our camera on here. Doesn't have to be full screen, it doesn't need to be anything. So, and then all we're going to do is we're going to quickly redo the, we'll add a scene. Master copy camera. In fact, you know, we don't even need to do that. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to show you another neat trick. So another plugin that I use on everything, like absolutely everything, is something called Source Clone. And if you don't know what that is, it's hey Biggie, how you doing, bro? I'm just winging it, boss. Chatting shit. Basically, Source Clone is the best plugin, or either that or the Move plugin, one of the two top plugins. But Source Clone I utilize for a lot of things, because basically what it does is you clone your master copy source effectively, so then you can leave your master copy source unfiltered, and it allows you to basically make a copy, and then you can alter the copies with different filters. So you'll notice on a lot of my scenes, I've got like cameras all over the place, and they've all got different things going on, and it's all the same camera, but it's just copied multiple times, and each copy's got a different set of filters on. And it's honestly, it's so much easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this as, in fact, we're not going to make a circle cam, right? Because a lot of people have circle cams. We're going to be different. So I've set one of these up for my stream. I just haven't actually turned it on yet, so none of you have ever seen it yet. But we're going to do vertical camera. And so we're going to use a source, and the source that we're going to use is camera. So basically we are duplicating this camera. And what we're going to do, right, we're going to add a filter. We are going to go up to our advanced masks again. And then we're just going to make it a shape. So basically, what we're going to do right here, you get options of different shapes. I mean, you can have ellipses, you can have hearts, you can do whatever the hell you want. But what we're going to do is we're going to stick with a rectangle, and we are going to just manipulate the borders of it a bit. I mean, first things first, we need to center ourselves in it, so we'll do that. And then the width, we can make it a little bit skinnier. We can then make it taller. We can adjust our zoom a little bit. Well, that was a bit scary, wasn't it? And then you can also adjust the corners. So a lot of people just have squares, like really, really 90-degree angles and everything. Don't know if you've noticed anything on my streams, but I like to be a bit more unique. So you'll just, I don't want to make it like a funny shape. I just want to round off the corners ever so slightly. Just like that. Hunter's obsessed with his air fryer. And then what we're going to do again is we are going to quickly add a shadow. So again, we're going to go dual Kawasi, select our color. We're going to go white so we can see what the hell we're doing again. And again, we're going to go intensity to the max, shadow distance down to 0, and then you can see the shadows now literally just around the thing. And then we can basically just adjust the size of it, bring the intensity down a little bit. We don't want it too bright. Change it back to black, and there's our drop shadow. And we will put a stroke on again. Choose our color. We're going to go red. And again, you know me, has to be 10. Job is a good one. Let me close that down. And now we have got a horizontal camera. So again, I'm going to crop that in. Hold Alt and just crop them in. So what you can do if you don't have a border on things and stuff, so you can just like crop stuff in like that, and it'll chop off the top of your thing. If you want to do that on any of your sources for any reason. Wiggle my Xbox thing, otherwise the background goes a bit dark. So that is our camera. So a lot of people have the cameras like horizontal, circles, squares. Change things up. Let's have a vertical camera. Look different. And you know what? Will it be even more different? We're going to go on this side. So now that is there, right? And you notice that filters, all those filters are on that camera. But if we go back into our nested scene, our master copy camera, it's got no filters on, there's no change, it hasn't, all of our adjustments haven't affected this master copy. So we can then use this again and clone it again for the next thing we're going to do. So our just chatting screen, we are going to make, we're going to add a camera again. So again, we're going to do a source clone. You click the wrong thing. We're going to do a source clone. So we'll call this just chatting camera. I like to label everything because it makes things easier as when you've got lots and lots of sources going through the lists. Because when you're cloning a lot of stuff, like already we've only just started on this OBS and look at all these different things we've got going on. And can you imagine on my OBS where I've got all sorts, it's like you're scrolling forever. Like you need to have a bit of organization, really. So this is all we're doing here is we're selecting that master copy camera again. So that we've just called it camera. There you go. And that is the copy. We don't want any audio from it, to be fair, because we've got our microphone. So we'll click off that. And then what we're going to do here is I'm going to right click on it. Filters. Again, the advanced mask plugin. Use it for a lot of things. We're going to make this one a circle. And we're going to center ourselves a bit again. You can drop it down a bit, see, like that. And you can make this a little bit bigger. Just like this. And again, you can add other filters to that. One thing we need to add to this scene on our sources selection is we need to add our nested audio scene, otherwise the microphone and everything won't come through on this scene. So all we're going to do, click on scenes, audio, okay. There's all our audio sources added in just one click, which is why I'm advocating for you to use the nested scenes, because it honestly, it makes your life so much easier. It's so much quicker. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make another source clone, but this one is going to be just chatting gameplay. So what we're going to clone this time is we're going to clone our Xbox feed. We don't want any audio. And then there you go. You've got your another little scene set up. And again, you can mess on them till your heart's content with your shadows and your strokes and whatnot. On mine, I have mine moving from side to side, which I will show you in another video. I'm not going to go into that one today because we're just focusing on getting the basics set up today. Then I suppose what we need after that is really an end screen. So again, we're going to click on our little plus I have to try and remember which one it is. I think it's a media source. End screen canvas. Again, we're going to loop it. There it is. Right click. We're going to transform. Fit to screen. And then what we can do here, because we've already made our circular camera there for our just chatting screen. And to be fair, it'll fit quite nicely there. So rather than duplicating everything again, we can just add a video capture device. Actually, no. Add a source clone, sorry. Add existing. And we're going to add just chatting camera. And there's our camera with our filter that we made already on it. So obviously if we'd put a shadow on it, it would already have a shadow on and all that sort of stuff. But bear in mind, if you're doing it this way, any changes you make to this one will also change your just chatting one as well, because you're using the same source effectively. But that's that. There's your screen setup. And if you want to be if you want a bit of organization, which I quite like, if I'm going to be honest, what I do is I set up scenes like this. So these are just blank scenes that I put in between my layers. We'll call these core. Just to separate things. So then you'll see we've got our streaming block, which is starting screen, gameplay, just chatting, end screen, and then these ones are our core value ones, that our nested scenes. So that's our horizontal screen setup. I'm an IT nurse by trade, Jody. Everything's like organized. Yeah, you have to be organized. So next thing on our list, we're going to set up a vertical stream, because yeah, it's good streaming to Twitch and YouTube and all that sort of jazz. But you want to stream to YouTube, vertical. You want to stream to TikTok, Facebook. You can stream to Facebook. So to do all this, what we have to do, we are going to go on to this website here. Hey, Star Cobra, welcome in. Any tech support is welcome. I'm just winging life here. So you want to go to atom.tv, and basically you want to click on products, and then what you want to do is you want to download the vertical plugin, and you want to download the multi-stream plugin. And what they will look like once you've downloaded them is this. So this is my multi-stream plugin. So I've obviously added different things to mine, but I'll go through that. And then over here is my horizontal canvas. So that's all right, Star Cobra. We'll get you sorted. Just watch the VOD. Let's or if you've got any questions, to be fair, and go through things. I quite like going through stuff and teaching. So, Jody, for your organizational OCD, within OBS, one thing I would suggest you do, right? There's always a lot of things going on. So I always link all mine together. So you can see here down the bottom, my sources, my scenes and vertical scenes are in a tabbed system, so it only takes up one box. So my sources and my vertical sources each have their own box, and that annoys me. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag our vertical sources on top of our sources. And again, I have to have them in order. And now you just click the tab down the bottom, and then it means you've got more space for anything else. So you'll see over here, this is what I've done with my little vertical canvas. So I have my multi-chat, which I will show you on here. I'll have to drag it out. So this is my multi-chat that's on my OBS I'm running. So that normally sits here when I'm chatting away. And then I've got a vertical stream, which on this one's got nothing, but we're going to set that up again. And then I've got all the little controls, which are normally over on the left-hand side there. So once you've downloaded the ATEM multi-stream and the ATEM vertical, this is what you should have. You should have this vertical canvas, which is, that's what we're going for. And then you're going to have this, which I think when you first load up, all it's going to have is built-in stream, which will be your Twitch. And you want your Twitch to be your first one. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our canvas first. So it's exactly the same process of what we've just done. So we're going to have to set up all of our scenes again. But because we have layered our stuff in these ones, in our core files, it's going to make life so much easier. So we're going to switch to our vertical scenes. We're going to rename this one. We're going to vertical. What did I name it? Just starting soon. And then basically we're going to add a source. I think it is an image. I keep getting these wrong. Browse. Yes, I'm wrong again. Delete. So for me, I'm going to add a media source, a new one. And then I've obviously made all of my overlays and stuff, and all my stuff I've made myself, and I've used Canva. So stream starting, vertical. And again, we're going to use that loop function. Okay. And look at that over there straight away. This is what will show on TikTok. How cool is that? And then again, we can add our scene for audio. And then there you go. The vertical scene now has all of our audio inputs straight away. Jobs are good, no messing on. Once you set up your main canvases, setting up the vertical stream it's easy. It takes 2 seconds. Jody, if you honestly just watch it back, just message me. I'm always on Discord, to be fair. If I'm not at work or parenting, I'm literally on my computer doing messing on. My two current issues are as follows. Mike just keeps cutting in and out. Thank you for the follow, Star Cobra. What microphone do you use? Okay, so that's quite a common fault. Once we've set up the scenes for this vertical thing, I'm going to go through all the audio stuff, because I've had a few issues with audio while I've been streaming, and I've finally managed to suss my way around it, and I don't pretend to be an expert by any means, but I've got a process that works, and I'm happy to share it. A Yeti GX. When you're chatting on your stream, does your microphone come up like this? So you can see mine's very loud. Obviously, I've not set any filters up. And again, it might be an issue if... Yeah, it will be. We'll go through all. I'll show you that. We'll quickly set these up. So we're going to do a game vertical gameplay. And again, we're going to add a source. So with this one, we can just add our Xbox because we don't need to make any adjustments to it. I'd just make this bigger while you're messing on with it. What you can do is you can transform it and you can center horizontally. You can make it so it's full screen. You guys can set this up however you want, but I mean, I tend to do mine this way. I know a lot of people have like partial screens. They have like a camera at the top and then they have the gameplay at the bottom. The issue I find with that is if your gameplay is at the bottom, that's what people are there to watch. And on a lot of the apps, they have the chat when you're actually on the stream chatting and watching. The chat covers half your gameplay. So for me, if you're going to do it that way, my advice to you would be to put your camera down the bottom and your gameplay up the top, if that's the format that you want to go in, because then at least the people who are there to watch you play the game will see you playing the game, if that makes sense. Rather than trying to watch the gameplay through reels and reels and reels of writing. Oh. So we've added our Xbox. Do you know, Star Cobra, it might actually be, have you put any filters on your microphone? Because it might be you might have just set your limits too harsh. So on some of the filters, what they do is your microphone basically opens up when it hears a certain decibels of volume, and then it sort of cuts out if it gets too loud as well. So it's basically designed, the filters, so it doesn't pick up all the background noise, and then it won't deafen your audience if you're shouting and screaming as well, if that makes any sense. And it's another one of those things where it depends on your microphone, the level of noise around you and whatnot to your settings. But we'll go through that. I'll have a look. So you'd right click on your microphone, click on filters, and then you'll be able to see if there's any filters on there. So on this vertical gameplay screen, I'm going to set mine up as basically like mine that I've got, really. So I'm going to add an image, browse, and I think this is what mine looks like, something like this. Yeah, so what I would do, Star Cobra, is I would literally, while you're talking through your microphone, adjust those volumes. So literally, have your microphone on, and basically don't talk, and see if there's any, like, see on my microphone here, this background noise, because I've got no filters on, and it sits at like minus 30 decibels. So I know that I would need to put a filter on there for like minus 28 decibels, maybe 20, 25 decibels, for it to knock out all the background noise in my house. But then equally, I'd then put another one on because I'd want it to be about the green zone there, so I'd put it on like minus 4. Yeah, so I'd adjust the top end. So what did you I just have a mess around with the open up your top end, because it sounds like it's cutting off before you, if it's getting too loud. So all I'm doing here, guys, is I'm just literally setting this up as if I'm setting mine up again. So if you ever watch my TikTok, this is just close her open, and if you give us 2 seconds, Star Cobra, I'll load my microphone up in 2 seconds. I'll have a look for you.
An ad is about to start. I appreciate these are annoying, however they help the channel grow. If you'd like to get rid of them for free, then drop me a Prime sub. If not, I'll catch you after the ad break.
I won't do anything else until the ad break's finished, just for you guys that are watching. It's only got 37 seconds. Yeah, Alonso, so this canvas that we're setting up now is for TikTok. So I send my vertical one to TikTok, and I also send it to YouTube vertical as well. So I'm like, you're in the shorts. So, you know, when people are like scrolling through YouTube on the phone, you'll come up as a live thing if you send it to YouTube shorts as well. So I send it to both. Is that the ad over? I don't know. Just says on my screen, ad is starting soon. I'm presuming it's over. So, one thing that I see on a lot of people's TikToks, which they either have the screen on full, like super small, like this, and like you can't hardly see a thing if you're on your phone, let's be honest. They have it like that, don't they? And you're like, what's going on? They have the camera up the top, and they have the gameplay like this, and you can't see anything. So for me, I mean, I like to make mine nice and big, like this. Transform, center horizontally. But one consequence of doing this is you can't see the mini map. And I've seen a lot of people who put the streams like this, but then you can't see the mini map and you can't see other things. And if they're playing Warzone, the top right hand corner, there's the little counter that says how many teams are left, how many kills you've got, and all that sort of stuff. So what you can do is you can cut them out and make a mask, which is then movable around your screen. But within that mask is basically whatever you've cut out. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the mini map. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So where am I at? So we're using free resources here, guys. Is that zoomed in? I don't know. So you want to go to SV Gator. Oh my god, what's it doing? I've got a delay on my stream, so I can't see what's going on. Is that zoomed in? Nerd. Yeah, so we're going to go, if you type in Google SV Gator, and we're going to click on this, the first link that comes up. Get started for free. And then it'll ask you just to log in. I just logged in through Google. And then basically it'll come onto this screen here. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on New Project. And we want it to be 1920 by 1080. And just click on Create. Move our canvas. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on Library. And you're lucky you can see how I made my ghost cam now for Halloween. You remember when I had that? And what we're going to do is we're going to click on Upload New. Ooh, that's loads of stuff in there, isn't there? Desktop tutorial. This is a random screenshot I think I used for when I made mine. Jody Cakes give me a sub. Thank you, Hunter. Oh my god, why is it taking so long to upload? We're having internet problems. There we go. Right, and this is our screenshot from Ashika Island. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the pen tool. You're back. So what we're doing, Star Cobra, is we're basically going to make a cutout of the mini-map. Hey, look at that. Brazil was first in chat. What a legend. So that cycles through every 33 minutes. Brazil will get a little call out on the screen there, guys. I set that up the last week. I have these little nerd moments where I just go through these random processes and I just add random stuff to my stream. So we're gonna cut this out, and it's going to become an active source on our vertical stream. So to do that, all we're going to do is we're going to get the little pen tool. We are going to zoom in using our mouse, and we're just going to literally draw around it. Nice and easy, just a little box. Jobs are good. Then we go over to the right hand side. Oh, there's a few more websites on there. There's 2 more. And then this one here is the stroke. So basically click on there and we're going to say no stroke. And then the one on the top, we're going to click on that one. And then we're going to say color. And it'll automatically fill us as black. I don't know why that's gone like that. There we go. Right, and then what we're going to do is our screenshot. We're just going to hide that. Oh, do you know why? That's why. The screenshot wasn't even on the page properly. I was wondering why it was a bit funky. Move our little box up. The screenshot's a bit too big. What the hell? We've got a dodgy size screenshot here, guys. I don't know what's going on. We're just going to delete that and we'll start again just to make sure we've got it. We'll quickly draw around that. And then again, we're going to no stroke, fill, and then our screenshot on this side. Oh my days, this button. On a screenshot on this side, we're going to hide it. And then we're going to export. We're going to do SVG. And we're going to make sure it's on a transparent background. And I'm not convinced we're in the right place with this, you know, because the screenshot wasn't the right size, but it's going to show you the basic principle anyway. And then basically the next thing we need to do is we're going to go to type in Google SVG to PNG. First link that comes up. We're going to upload our files in here, which is this little one here. Open. Download. And that's over there. Right, so, oh, do you know what I've done? What I hate doing on here? I haven't named my sources. So we're going to rename this logo. We're going to rename this one banner. Right, and then what we're going to do is we are going to add we're going to do a source clone, new, yeah, that's right. So I was working it out myself. So we've added a source clone of our Xbox. And what we're going to do is we're going to right click on our source clone, click on filters, and we are going to do an image mask blend. Click OK. And we want to make it an alpha channel. And then basically we're going to use our file that we've just downloaded, which is somewhere there. And can you see there? That's our little cutout. And this is where the little Alt key comes in useful, because we don't want this big massive thing around here. So we're going to reduce that down. And then basically you can resize the mini map. Just turn my Xbox remote on again so the background lights up. You see what I'm on about? And you see how that's literally, it's a little cutout of where the minimap is going to be. But it's like a portable sort of cutout and source. You can resize it to whatever size you want. And this is literally, when the game plays on, this is going to be your minimap. And you can literally, so mine on my stream's just like over here somewhere. I'm going to rename it minimap. Okay. And again, we're going to add some filters. We're going to do we'll add a stroke. We'll make it red. And we'll make it 10 to match everything else. And then I think we'll also add a little drop shadow to it. Intensity, shadow distance. That's it. I think our border's a bit too thick on that one actually, so what we can do is we can just reduce that down. We can put it to 7. There you go. And that's that. And then what we can do is if you want a camera as well, you can add in your camera. So again, we're going to do source clone. We're going to clone our camera again, which is this one. Don't want any audio. And then we are going to add filters to it. The advanced mask again. Thank you, Hunter. So we are going to make this a squircle. And we're going to reduce the curvature right out to make it an actual square. So then it matches our... Basically what we're going to do is we're going to match it so it's like... It looks similar to our little mini map. Hey Fox, how you doing? Welcome on in. And again, we are going to add in a stroke. Again, I'm very much a creature of habit, so we'll make everything the same. And we will add in a shadow. Do the dual Kawasi. Shadow distance right down, intensity up. Can't remember what size I did that, but it's about that. And then what we can do is we're going to move this source over, because we don't want it to be that big, do we? And we're going to use our Alt key again. Hold Alt. Reduce this big box down, because we don't need all that. That's it. And then we can reduce it down. So what I tend to do is I'll put it on top of that one. And reduce it so it's pretty much the same. Voila. It's a bit smaller actually, isn't it? Something like that. Job's a good one. And there's our vertical gameplay scene, but one thing we haven't added is our audio. So we'll click on scene again, main and audio. And now all of our audio settings, our microphone, everything is all on there. And then what else do we need? So we've got a vertical start and soon screen. We've got a vertical gameplay. We're going to add a just chatting screen. So the gameplay one was the most difficult one to set up. These last two are going to take 2 seconds because we've done everything already on the main canvas. So rename this to vertical just chatting. Okay. We're going to add a scene. I believe this is an image this time. Desktop tutorial. Yeah, mobile just chatting. So unload image when not shown, because again, it's not going to take up all your resources on your PC. And I know I appreciate it's just an image file, but if you've got loads of sources open constantly, they all accumulate and add up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to again add our audio. And see how much easier it is just by making that audio scene. We're adding everything with one click on every scene, rather than going in, adding Discord, adding your microphone, adding this, adding that. So much easier. And what we're going to do, because we're going to use the same camera that we used on our just chatting screen, because we've already set this up, so we'll just have that. And we can transform, center horizontally so it's in the middle of the screen. Hold Alt so we don't have these big red bloody things out the sides, because we don't want none of that crap. And again, what we can then do now is add what did we add before? Nope, not that. There you go, we can add our Xbox to it. You just chuck the Xbox down there. There's your just chatting screen done. And then we're going to make another scene, which is vertical end screen. And again, we can, so this one I know for a fact is a media source, new, browse, vertical end, upload. We're going to loop. Okay. We're going to add our audio. That's that added, done. We're going to add a camera, and we're just again going to use the same circular one. So we're going to use source clone, just chatting camera. We're going to make that so it is in the center. Cut them in just because of my OCD. And that's that. Then you can chat away, say thank you to people, and raid out. So basically, what we're going to do now, because if you're on your main canvas, for example, over here, and so this one's on your stream starting or your gameplay scene, for example, here, but then this one's stuck on your just chatting screen. And you don't want to have to be clicking on your OBS to click on it. Click on that one, right? And here you go, click on that one. The best thing to do on your vertical scenes, if you right click on your vertical scene, so we'll start with the starting scene one. Right click, linked scenes, starting screen, and then do the same for this one. So the vertical gameplay one. We're going to link scenes. We're going to link that one to gameplay. Again, this is another reason why we label everything and make life easy. So just chatting, link scene, just chatting, vertical end, link scene, end screen. So now, just on our normal base canvas over here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to starting screen. Voila. Both change. Gameplay scene, both change. Just chatting. I've got a transition on this one, as you can tell. I haven't gone through them, but we can go through them on another video. But that's how you link all of them up. So that's your vertical stream setup, basically, or your canvas anyway. So with your audio files, with this bit, what you want to be doing is you want to go and control settings. Oh, it won't let me go on settings on this one. How about this? Okay, we can do that. So what we're going to do is all of our sources are on every single audio track, and we don't want that. Hey, yeah, lad. I mean, I can show you how to set up hotkeys if you really want to. I use my Stream Deck, to be honest with you. I've got everything on my Stream Deck, but I did used to use hotkeys. So basically with your audio files, you want every single file on number 1. And Jody, for yourself, who is getting your VODs blocked, your VODs are going to be track 2. I've jock-eyed a few yolks in me time. Yeah, lad. Yeah, Alonso, man, it's honestly, it's so easy to do. Like, where's my Stream Deck? So this is my Stream Deck here. So I've got a button. It shows me I've got 6 people in my chat. It shows me what my bit rate is. Click on my scenes and I can change scenes. Turn off my cameras and stuff. I've got this one, which I can run my different things. If I click on this, don't know what it does. I don't think it does anything. Oh, there you go. So that does a matrix glitch, which seems to last forever. So these ones here, these are quite cool. So this button here was my last sub, so I believe that's Hunter with my display picture on it for some reason, because he's a douche. So if I click my little button with my face on, that's actually Hunter, it should give a shout out. There you go. And then the one next to it is Brazil. He must have been the last person to raid me. So when I get a raid, whoever's raiding me, their little display picture comes up on there. And I click that. Shout out to Brazil. Job's a good one. Life's so much easier. And then these are what I used to clip. My Spotify and other bits and bobs. But yeah. Anyway, going back to my audio sources. So on your... Oh no, I'm just talking shite today, yeah, lads. This is me day of talking shite. So basically, we're going to untick all of these, right? Because we don't want all of them on everything. So Spotify, you do not want on number 2, because number 2 is your VODs. So anything that's going to get your VODs restricted because of copyright, take off number 2, and that's it, basically. So I also have my microphone on 1, 2, and then I have it also on, I think mine's on 4, but whatever, put on 3. And number 3 is simply your microphone. Yeah, Xbox, where's that? These, there's loads of them. So my Xbox I would also have on 1 and 2. I know my microphone's on 3, so I'm going to put my Xbox on 4. Thanks, yeah, lad. I appreciate your support as always. And then I've not put Discord on here, but what we can do is, if you had Discord on as well, you just put Discord on 5. And then basically when you save your files, if you're going to use something like, I don't know, I used CapCut, and on CapCut you can separate out all the audio files, so then I can mute track 1, I can mute track 2, I can reduce the volume on 5, for the Discord. I'd get rid of it if I don't want to listen to Hunter or Haggis yappering on my videos. On my number 4, whatever that was, Xbox, I can turn that down if it's too loud. I can adjust my microphone level on my videos. It gives you more flexibility in the editing side of things. But yeah, if you're having issues with your VODs, literally track 1, that's what's sent to your stream. So that's what you're watching now, track 1. But then the VODs is track 2. So if you take off anything that's going to be copyrighted, so your Spotify, for example, or your alerts, so whatever your alerts are, just untick them from track 2. If you leave them on number 1, your stream will still hear them live, but if anyone watches your VOD back, they won't hear them on there. And that's that done. So then, basically, to set up your multi-stream, these are my Jeffrey Dahmers, yeah, lad. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this. I think my head's in the way. So we're going to click on this. And it's going to pop this little menu up here. So our main canvas is actually Twitch. So this is a secondary main canvas. So I also stream to YouTube as well. So I program all that crap in. But what you're wanting to know is the vertical side of things. So for TikTok, you'd click on Add Output, and it'll come up with this. And you would think you'd just click on TikTok, but if you click on that, you need the TikTok stream key, which I'm presuming you don't have, which is the issue. Thanks, yeah, lad. But what we're going to do is we're going to click on Other Services. You click on there, and what we still need a server and we still need a stream key, but there's a workaround. So we are going to go to another website. Are you ready for this one now? So we're going to go to a website called restream.io. And what you're going to do is you're going to log in, create an account. So mine's a free plan. So it'll when you go to log in, it will ask you. It'll give you an option for a paid account or a free account, and it'll say that the free account you can only use for one stream key, which is absolutely fine because all you're wanting to do is to have that one stream key for TikTok. For Twitch and YouTube and all that other stuff, you can get that yourselves from their actual websites. It's TikTok that's the pain in the ass that you can't get the key from. So you sign up with a free account, and then basically you'll create a new stream, which will be here. So you want this one, encoder RTMP. And then it'll, so this is the URL that you want, just here. And then this is going to be your stream key. So you'd basically just copy and paste both of them back into your OBS. So you'd put your server, that's the URL, put that there. The stream key, you'd put that there. Create output. And jobs are good. So let's give it a go. So copy that one and jump back over. Copy that one. Create outputs. Voila. We have our TikTok. Obviously mine was already set up, so it makes no difference. So that's this one, look. So it will appear like this, so it's thingy because I've already got it set up here. So it's like, why have you done it twice, mate? And then basically it'll come up like this, and then you can adjust your output settings by going on advanced settings. And it's up to you what you want to do. I mean, if you don't really know a great deal about all the different encoders and what your system can handle, I would just leave it as the vertical encoder. I wouldn't mess on if I was you. Your audio settings, again, I would just make sure it's on track 1 because that's what is sent to your Twitch, and it's gonna have all the stuff on. Unless you want to, you can put it to track 2, to be honest with you, and then it's not going to have all the alerts and things on. Because, and your channel point rewards, because at the end of the day, your TikTok's not going to have access to your channel point rewards. However, if you put track 1 and they keep hearing all these rewards, they might get intrigued and come over to your Twitch. So I have mine on track 1 just to try and get people over to me Twitch. It's all about marketing. And then literally, you will, once that's set up, you'll have your Twitch already logged in from your normal OBS, and you just literally click to go live there, and then you click to go live on TikTok, and then you're live. And you've got your little chat there, your little screen here. The only thing about doing it this way is the chat. You have to get a shared chat. So I use something called Caster Labs, which is this thing here. So I can have TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, whatever, all on here, and it all comes through. Obviously, I'm not streaming to TikTok at the moment. I'm only streaming to Twitch and YouTube, but there's literally only Twitch where there's interaction as per. But yeah, it would all come up on here with, so the YouTube would have like a little blue thing. TikTok has another, whatever TikTok's logo is. And you can see, like, if someone sends you roses or whatever on TikTok, you can't see if someone likes the stream, but you can see if someone follows you on TikTok and all that sort of stuff. So you can still interact with your chat. And the great thing about this is, so I load this up and then I just minimize it, and then I go to my docs up the top here, and I scroll down. I click on multi-chat. And it appears here normally, but obviously it's on my OBS that I'm running to stream from. So let me grab it for you. See, it's like that. But I have it docked in with the vertical stream. And that's it. You guys got any questions? No. Well, guys, I think we'll leave it there. If you guys need anything, please let me know. I am always happy to help. How do you add alarm clocks? Alarm clocks such as what, Brazil? And about the alarm clocks like I used to have on my other one, where, oh wow thank you for that. I always rely on your support. Cheeky bastard. Right, on that note, thank you very much, everybody. I hope it's been beneficial. Just let me know if you need anything. Obviously the Discord is always always up and running. I'll put the link in here. If you guys do need anything, please just let me know, and I will try my best to help you out, whether it's jumping on Discord with you and sharing a screen, or making a video, doing whatever you need. I don't mind. I mean, this has just been the first part, more so of an introduction to setting up OBS. Obviously, you can do a lot more with it. I mean, Christ, you can get to do all sorts. Like, you can get to do... Let's have a look. Where's me? Like this, for example. You can get it to take a selfie. And then you can get that to send automatically to Discord. But yeah. Obviously, this is just the first part. I figured you might as well start off at the beginning. Otherwise, it gets a little bit confusing if you're jumping straight into all the complicated stuff. But yeah, just let me know if you need anything, guys. I'm always here. And I appreciate you all for joining us. I'm going to raid out. See who's online today. Who are we going to go to? Warzone, Arc Raiders. Everybody's playing Arc Raiders. Thank you for turning the lights purple. We're going to go to Grumpy Grandpa Gamer. He's playing Warzone. Share the love, guys. I appreciate you very much, and thank you very much for joining us today. Very much appreciate you. And if you don't already follow the other channels, let me know. Well, just follow them. FriedRiceFPS on everything. Hey Alonso, thank you very much for the biddies, mate. I appreciate you. And catch you later, guys. Thanks, bye.